Hey guys, my name is Lilly and today I want to make a video about what the elites don't want you to know. So what am I talking about? Guys, the thing is, our magnetic field is weakening. And you know, I've seen a couple of videos about it on YouTube and I always thought, yeah, it's weakening, so what? What's the problem? The problem is that this can be potentially life-threatening for us humans. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but this is actually a map of where the magnetic pole is. And back in the day, it was only moving like 5 miles a year. But then there was an acceleration in the movement of the magnetic North Pole. Here we can see that from about 1998, the North Pole started to raise. So now let's take a look at the Southern Pole. At the South Pole we have this picture here. The South Pole is also moving and accelerating, and it seems to be as if the North and South Pole is flipping again. And this is nothing new, so this is happening on a regular basis on Earth every, I don't know, 200,000 years, 300,000 years. The poles are flipping. So the thing is that the magnetic poles, they are moving because the magnetic field is getting weaker. So how much less of a magnetic field do we already have on Earth? Because numbers really count here. So here I want to show you an article by NASA. This article is actually now not existent anymore. It was deleted from the website, but it can be still found on the web archive. So this article here came out around 2000, and here they are admitting that globally the magnetic field has weakened 10% since the 19th century. So that's 10% for the year 2000. So then there was a new article that came out by the European Space Agency, and here they are claiming that in the last 150 years the magnetic field has lost 15% of its strength. So now we are down to 15%, and that was in 2010. So then in 2014 this article came out by Berkeley News, and it's saying Earth's magnetic field could flip within a human lifetime. Then in 2014 we got this article here which is saying Earth's magnetic field is weakening 10 times faster now. Previously researchers estimated the field was weakening about 5% per century, but the new data revealed the field is actually weakening at 5% per decade now. So 5% per decade. So we had, at the year 2000 we had minus 10% of the magnetic field. 2010 we had minus 15% of our magnetic field. 2020 we had minus 20% of our original magnetic field. And now it's almost 2025. So 2025 we will have minus 25%, 1/4 of weakening of our Earth's magnetic field. That's crazy, guys. Crazy. This is crazy. So now let's look at the implications. What does it mean if Earth's magnetic field is weakening? So the first thing that you will notice if you have a weakening magnetic field on Earth is you're going to see polar lights at really low latitudes. So we've seen polar lights in Austria now, which is really unusual, in November last year, but also we've seen them in May this year and also in June. So I cannot remember that when I was a child we had polar lights in Austria. I just cannot remember it. This is not normal. So that's the first sign that the magnetic field is weakening. The second sign is of course the wandering North Pole and South Pole. We already have taken a look at that. But also there are other implications that we can see. And the next sign that you will see for a weakening magnetic field is more thunderbolts. So in this article they say that tens of thousands of thunderbolts have happened in August 2024, and that's true because I've seen it with my own eyes. So I've witnessed that sometimes there are so many thunderbolts and lightning strikes, and sometimes they stay on the sky for a really long time. Here's another article about the thunderbolts. Here they have recorded 50,000 thunderbolts, and those 50,000 lightning strikes were recorded in one night in Austria. Another thing that is happening to the earth is more earthquakes and more intense earthquakes and strange earthquakes. So here, for example, there's an article, and it says that in a region of Germany the earth has quaked 60 times in 2023, and researchers cannot explain why. Also, next I would like to tell you about my own observation, and that observation is shared by many other people who are older than 40 years. So I remember when I was a child, the sun was yellow. This is how I remember it. This is how many other people I asked remember it. And this is also how the school children draw the sun. So if you ask a child to draw the sun, they would take a yellow crayon and draw the sun, right? And so for me, in the childhood, the sun was always yellow. But if I take a look near the sun now, so I'm not looking directly into the sun, but near to the sun, and now it's 1:30, so it's around noontime. Now the sun seems to be white. If the magnetic field is getting weaker and weaker, we will soon have a really severe problem. The number one problem that we will have is actually that a CME is going to kill our electrical grid. And it does not even have to be strong to do that anymore. So if our Earth's magnetic field is going to get weaker and weaker and weaker, then a medium strength storm can easily take out our electrical grid. And this is a huge problem. If that happens, it's going to be apocalyptic. We will go back to Metal Age, Iron Age, Dark Ages, because of lacking electricity. So modern society is really built on electricity. Without electricity we cannot support so many people. So if that happens, a blackout which takes out the grid for at least 2 years, we are going to lose 2/3 of our world's population, and most of them will die from hunger and of course other reasons like civil unrest and maybe some other horrible accidents from nuclear plants and so on. So we have to prepare for a world without electricity. So that can actually now happen every day now, because right now the sun is doing a lot, you know, it's very active, and now it's really Russian roulette. So it's a matter of probability when we are going to get hit. It's not a question of if, but when. The next topic is, if the magnetic field is weakening, the ozone layer is going to get destroyed. And without the ozone layer, we cannot walk on this planet anymore, because then the UVC radiation from the sun comes through, which is really harmful for us. So then we would have to stay indoors during the day. And we could only move outside when the sun is not directly shining at us. And that's a huge problem. Okay guys, now there's another threat that can come from a pole shift, or let's say a micronova coming from the sun. So apparently our sun can do micronovas, and also there's a galactic current ripple sheet which is coming through every 12,000 years, it seems. So this ripple sheet or the micronova, it can cause the Earth to flip sideways. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the Earth tilted like that. So if that happens, we have a real problem, because that would cause mega tsunamis, and it would kill all people who are living in low level areas. So it would cause a mega tsunami this direction, and then there would be a backslash tsunami which is going to kill the other side of the planet. there actually are a couple of places on the planet that you can survive this. And the elites know this. And Jeff Bezos has actually built a deep underground bunker in the right spot on where he can survive such an event. So the elites know about this and they are actively preparing for it. Jeff Bezos has this underground bunker, but also he has at the other side of the hill a landing port for his space rockets, so he can also flee to space if needed be. Also here I want to show you this article from September 2023. In this article, Elon Musk has lost 200 Starlink satellites in only 2 months, and nobody knows why. So it probably has to do with those CMEs that are coming from the sun, and satellites are actually flying at the outer rim of the atmosphere, I believe. So they are still protected by the atmosphere, but not that much. And in a weakening magnetic field, they can get damaged by a CME, of course. And this might be it. This might be the big calamity, which has thrown us back into Stone Age from time to time. So it seems to be a cyclical event, which is coming on a regular basis. And that's maybe also the reason why 10, 12,000 years ago, before that, we don't have any written documents. That might happen again. Only this time, civilization was a little bit faster, and we have made it to a very modern age, and that's probably what we've never managed to do before. So another proof of all of this is that there are genetical bottlenecks inside of human history. So if you look at the ancestry, sometimes you find a bottleneck where all of the children have come from a tiny group of people. So many times humankind was at the edge of extinction. But now I believe that the elites will survive this because they have the means to do it. They have bunkers, concrete bunkers, huge areas underneath. There's also military around the world. They have huge, deep underground military bunkers. They have the equipment to survive such an event. So as long as you can save a lot of people, humanity is going to survive. The problem is going to be the rest of the world who doesn't have anything to eat. And the problem is going to be radiation coming from power plants. Alright guys, so this is it for today. I really want to thank you for watching, and if you want to get the real news, you really need to go on Twitter. Also, I have a Twitter account, so if you want to follow me there, make sure that you follow me on my Twitter account. This is where I can post more information. Thank you so much guys, and stay tuned till next time.